Hello! We are frienditas. If you're new to this channel, we are two friends who have been traveling the world full time. We sold everything, quit our jobs, and left America, and we've been doing this for a while now. If you haven't seen in our past videos, we've been posting basically on a weekly basis all our different travel adventures, and this is the first time we're doing a sit-down checkpoint milestone type of thing because we wanted to talk about all the different experiences we've had and kind of reflect on everything that we have been doing.
We figured it'd be a nice change of pace from our usual showing you where we travel to instead talking about how we travel and how our travels have been for us outside of actually experiencing them.
The biggest way in which we have changed from when we started this adventure to this point in our journey is I think we are much more confident in new countries, new regions that we are unfamiliar with. After enough times of doing this, you start to get used to being uncomfortable.
Another thing is, relative to us, we've become a bit more chill with planning things, especially planning things on the go. Before we started this whole journey, we were the type of travelers who wanted to plan everything out and kind of have an itinerary before even setting off to go. But a lot of our travels these days have been kind of like, okay, we'll just get our tickets without too much advance and then we'll plan it on the go. We'll plan it when we're there, or we'll plan it on the way there, but not really so much spending so much of our time planning it beforehand and making sure everything is lined up perfectly. Obviously, there are events or time-specific things that we do plan for, so those ones, yes, like we can plan with that in mind, but a lot of our travels actually is very on the go and very casual outings. It's not like it's time-specific or it only happens at a certain point in our travels, so we have been able to be a bit more relaxed in that sense.
And on that note, we've actually slowed down a lot as well. When we first began traveling, I think we can count our first time in Tokyo as part of our full-time travel, even though it was technically before we sold everything and left the States. When we were in Tokyo, we were going out almost every single day. You can see earlier in our YouTube channel a lot of Tokyo videos. That was a lot of fun, but it was pretty energy intensive. And I think since then we have learned to slow down and rest and not feel too guilty about that.
I think a big difference too is that even though Tokyo, we would say, is part of our full-time travels, at the same time we knew that we were having to go back to the States, if anything, to tie up any loose ends and to start the process of selling everything. But because we knew we were going back, we just felt like, oh, for the entire time that we're here in Tokyo, we need to treat every day as like film it and everything's a new experience and we'll never be able to do this again. It was kind of that mindset, and so much has changed since then because now, truth be told, we don't film every day that we're traveling. Like, we have a lot of days that we still do new things, but we don't really film it because it's more just new things for us to experience, and if it's worthwhile to film, then we will. And sometimes we do still film new things while we're experiencing it, but nowadays we've relaxed a bit on that. So in summary, what's changed has mainly just been we've relaxed a lot more, we've slowed down a lot more, and we've become a bit more confident.
And at the same time, we are still learning and growing with every single day, becoming more aware of our many strengths and our weaknesses as well. I think a big misconception people have about this type of lifestyle is that it's a 24/7 vacation, which it's not really, because this is our life now. We understand why people would think that because we more or less thought that too before we started living this. Real life is still happening. You're still processing a lot of emotions from the day-to-day, especially when you're in new environments that are maybe triggering.
And overwhelming.
And overwhelming.
To be frank, like, we know that we only post what we want to post, so that means that we're not posting the days that we're maybe not doing anything or just chilling at the house or even just like having a really down day. Like, of course we're not really going to post that because those are personal for us. Knowing that we once were on the other side of that, also just seeing other people who inspired us to do the same thing, they mainly would just post their travels and like, oh, like what they learned in going out. But we knew that, we never see them crying about things. They're not going to post a video of them just like in bed sad about something. And so now we know the feeling of that on the other side of it, being creators ourselves and figuring out, okay, what do we post and what's worthwhile to post. That's not to say that we don't have intentions to post more honest and real things too, but at the same time, this whole being YouTubers thing, it is only one side of our whole lives. And so these travel videos do not encapsulate everything that we've experienced. And so in that way, we're kind of wanting to spend a little bit more time talking about these things now, which again, it's still not going to encapsulate everything, but at least it'll help offer a little glimpse into more than just us going out and having so much fun, which we really do. We really do have so much fun. But at the same time, we're exhausted a lot more and we need a lot of break time. That is just an honest part of being full-time travelers, at least for us. Maybe that's not the case for everyone, but for us, we're still very much people who like to be at home a lot too. Sometimes we don't want to go explore somewhere very far out. Sometimes we just want to stay in our local neighborhood and just explore the next door restaurant.
What's been fun about that is now every single place that we've lived, technically, we have favorite restaurants and favorite stores, places to visit, that sort of thing.
I think in each place we've been to, we've gone to maybe even one spot just enough that the people who work there start to kind of recognize us.
That part of the travel has been really, really rewarding. It does make the world feel smaller in a good way, in a manageable way. Like it's not some big, unknown, scary thing anymore. As we mentioned in the beginning of this video, we did leave everything behind, including our jobs, to pursue this life. And at the same time, decided that we were going to pursue a YouTube career.
A lot of what led us to that decision was that we could not feel ourselves aligning much with the traditional 9-to-5. And we've done that for quite a few years now. And through our travels, we're able to appreciate what good comes out of a traditional 9-to-5. We also felt that it was time for us to try something different and to forge our own path. And at the same time, there is no rule book for any of this. There's no job description for this. There's no college degree for this. Nothing that has set us up in life for the paths that we went down really has any structure for this. This is all kind of for us to decide. And while that's a lot of freedom, it is also a lot of responsibility. And I think sometimes that's very intimidating. It's very intimidating to feel like the weight of our own worlds are just all on our shoulders.
It's been an interesting journey because we've been posting a lot and we actually had some videos blow up. We have been processing emotions around self-worth as it ties to engagement and numbers.
What's interesting about YouTube is there's a level of numbers that anyone can see on YouTube, and it's very interesting to kind of have that be public. Everyone can, on the one hand, have an idea of what we're going through, but then on the other hand, have no idea what we're going through with our YouTube journey. It's been interesting because for the people that we've met along the way and who know that we're doing YouTube, they are so supportive of us and very excited for us. Honestly, a lot of the times we fall back on that energy to help remind us that what we're doing is right for us. Sometimes when we're not feeling the greatest, it can feel like this numbers game is really getting to us. And a lot of that is confronting because I think that's always been the case. I think that's always been the case, not even just with YouTube, but even with a traditional 9-to-5. I think numbers is kind of always things that surround us, and then what ties our idea of self-worth is a numerical number, arbitrary to like whatever thing, standard it's held up against. For YouTube, it's been interesting because there kind of is no standard for what success or worth or doing good is here on YouTube. It's been confronting in that we don't fully know how to navigate this from a structured standpoint, and I'm not so sure that that's necessary, but I think it's confronting knowing just how much has been ingrained in us from going to school and working and, you know, family dynamics and societal expectations. It's very interesting to kind of have all that come to a head in this choice of we're gonna do our own way.
To be completely honest, there were many times that we asked ourselves, what are we doing? Did we make the right choice? Was this a completely insane and unreasonable, unrealistic thing to pursue, both as a lifestyle and as a career or a hobby even? At this point, we really don't have any answers, but what we do know is that we have been enjoying making videos and putting them out.
And at this point in our YouTube journey, we still are able to see all the engagement that we get, and so we do remember who the people are who seem to keep offering consistent support, and so we're very grateful for that. It really does energize us and keeps us in a good headspace. It almost feels like a rite of passage for any person who's pursuing content creation, going into it extremely excited and passionate about things, probably scared, but more excited than scared. And then having that maybe delayed fear creep back in and then start to bring into this like, oh, what am I doing? Why did I do this? I have no idea. And at the same time, with all the downs that we've had during the time that we've been posting all of our videos so far, we find ourselves not being able to stop. Sometimes when we're just having a at-home day, we'll watch some shows.
With the show we've been watching, we felt there was a message in there for us.
By the way, the show is called End of the East.
The main character gave himself amnesia in order to fulfill a goal he had set out for himself and left everything behind to pursue that goal. Along the way, he meets another character that tells him, that's what you did, and I think you should continue on that path because your past self believed in what you were doing so much that he was willing to give up everything and even forget everything in order to embark on this journey. That really resonated for us. It felt like encouragement in a moment when we really needed encouragement to continue. And we've been getting many messages from our favorite shows and movies that we've been watching in our downtime as we live around the world.
We've actually gone through several shows during our chill days. It's been interesting going through them in this life now because these are shows that we've enjoyed and have watched several times over, even back when we lived in the States. Rewatching them again, it's nice to kind of get these nuggets of truth in a different light or being able to look at them in different perspectives, especially now. One thing I've thought about though, for the days that we've been particularly down about things as far as YouTube is concerned, is that we have experienced some what can feel like divine delays, whether that be any delays with like Wi-Fi or getting home to work on something or even upload something. Sometimes there were delays even there. We have taken those delays in stride because we have taken the time that the delay gave us back to think about, do we want to continue this way? We have changed a lot of things about how we approach YouTube.
Here's footage from a day that we were questioning things, feeling a lot of feelings.
Basically, in short, having a crash out. We were definitely crashing out, and this was one of the rare times we actually filmed it. And hopefully anyone who's watching can relate or at least have some insight into what it can be like behind the scenes of all of this.
We are in a really weird, pivotal time for us because it feels like we're, being asked to take a break from YouTube. It hasn't even been that long, and we're still full-time traveling. We're both feeling pretty sad and frustrated and lost, and we also were gonna go eat. And when we went to go out to eat, the first restaurant we went to was closed, even though it said it was open online. And this is the second restaurant that we're at that's also closed, and it says break time, like take a break.
The first restaurant actually said that it's open every day except for every other Sunday, so we wouldn't have known what every other Sunday means, like which Sunday it was. Today's a Sunday, by the way.
And we're in this interesting spot with all these wind chimes. It all feels like it means something, but we're confused. We're confused, honestly. And I think we both want YouTube to succeed, but right now it doesn't feel like that's the case. I don't know if this will be published, but at the very least I wanted to record it for us as a record of the lows of this journey, because it's not just all highs and
Yeah.
it's not just all exciting.
Even though we obviously post the highs, it's not like that 24/7 at all. What we post is honest. That is actually the joys and the highs that we do experience, but we don't post everything, so this part of the journey is and has been really difficult of wondering, is this what we're supposed to be doing? It was 2:22 just now on the timestamp. Earlier when we came to this spot, it was 3:33 in the afternoon. Right before he came over to start recording this, a friend of ours had texted me and said that she's been watching our YouTube and has noticed that there's been so many more viewers. She's happy for us and hopes that we have a wonderful time. And so yeah, all of this has been beyond confusing, especially knowing that of all places to sit, this is the first time we've sat in a place that's completely surrounded by wind chimes, which I think even that has its own symbolism of changing of the winds. All the wind chimes are activated right now. Everything's very confusing for us. I think because there's so much meaning that we can take out of this that even I'm still not sure which to do.
No, me neither. I don't know what's being asked of us. We're very confused. I don't think we've said this yet, but also we're very demoralized. Which is funny because our friend, which is actually someone we met on our travels so far, is saying the views are increasing, and we have specifically felt like our views have tanked.
It's hard because our previous videos really had a lot of engagement and we got to meet so many of you guys, and we were so happy to meet everyone and kind of engage with everyone, have this feedback loop that yes, like our videos are reaching people. And then so far our videos have not had the same engagement. Not that they haven't had engagement, but they haven't had the same amount. And so part of our demoralized feeling is that we're not sure that our videos are reaching anyone. We do really miss the engagement. We really miss engaging with all of you guys who whoever all of you guys are supposed to be, because we know we haven't met everyone yet, but we still want to. It's demoralizing too, because people who are kind of in this line of work, it's like, don't let it be a numbers game. It's not about the numbers. And, conceptually, yes, like we understand that. But I think there is also some meaning in the numbers because, like it's not like we're getting any more engagement. Like, sure, the numbers are low, but maybe are we still engaging with people? But we haven't. We're not sure why. We've been doing everything we can to improve our video style and change things up even. Change also to see how well it works for our production style.
We've been putting all that effort in, and week after week, it's hard to keep positive. That's a weird feeling for us because we're also having a lot of fun living this life, and at the same time, we have very real fears about how long we could do this.
Neither of us felt that we fit in with traditional jobs and working a 9-to-5. So it felt like this was the natural move to do our own thing, really. It's just hard when it's a deep low and then it doesn't feel like there's any end to it. On the one hand, yes, we've learned to be thankful and grateful that we still have views at all. And then on the other hand, we have to admit that it's demoralizing because maybe we're doubting things. And even that's hard to admit because for people who are on a spiritual path like ourselves, it's hard to even say like, oh, we admit that there's some doubt too, but we are human, so it happens.
Right now, this is a problem without a solution, a moment in our journey that we are expressing the sadder parts, the more frustrating parts, the confusing parts. Life will go on after this moment,
Yeah.
and maybe we'll pick ourselves back up and understand what all this was for.
Even though there are doubts coming in now, it's more about what to do going forward. And as far as the trajectory we've chosen so far, I have no regrets about it. This isn't don't do what we did. Definitely still follow your heart. And if this is I said that right at 11:11 timestamp. Definitely still follow your heart. If this is something that you want to do, I still advise it. And at the same time, it's not all sunshine and rainbows and it's not all smiles or fun, happy, wonderful days, but also tough.
So we hope you enjoyed the video and I guess saw another side of us.
We want to have a balanced approach when it comes to sharing as much of ourselves online as we can. At this point in our journey, we still don't really have any answers other than we don't want to stop. We don't want to stop filming. We don't want to stop traveling full time. Even though it's scary because we don't know the hows of how things are going to work out or when they're going to work out, we're willing to see it through still. Hopefully, if you're watching this channel, there's something about us or our journey that resonates with you. And if any part of you, even a tiny part of you, is thinking that you want to do something similar, we say go for it. And this is coming from people who still haven't figured it all out.
One thing that has become more clear to us is that deciding to go on this journey, it's the end of one thing, but it's also just the start of finding out what this journey is for you. It's not that, oh, because I've decided on this journey that now I have all the answers. It's like, no, then begins your next set of questions and discovery of like, what am I doing? And for us, I think that is something that we knew we wanted to set out on anyways. The things that we have found out about ourselves on this journey outside of YouTube, because of YouTube, and everything in between has been very eye-opening, very unexpected, very raw, and at the same time very necessary in our own spiritual, emotional, mental, physical growth.
We feel we've been cracked open and transformed really, and transformation isn't always painless, but it is really rewarding.
I think part of why we just can't see ourselves stopping even still is because we feel that it's worthwhile to even share these parts. And that's also part of why we wanted to make this kind of video, and we intend to make more of these styles of videos where we just sit and share about our journey and also thoughts and feelings that we have about the things that we experience, maybe how that's shaped our mindset and our outlook on things. This journey has been so fun, even considering all the ups and downs with YouTube and the difficult things that we're experiencing. Even with all that in mind, we are still having so much fun. After this video, we're gonna go out and have so much more fun today, and it's one of those things where we just feel really lucky that we get to choose what every day can look like for us.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you've made it this far, we cannot say how much we appreciate it because it means a lot to us that you care to connect with us in this way. If you have any comments for us, please leave them. We do read them all. We try our best to respond if we can in a timely manner, but we are also juggling many things. If you feel like you know people who would also enjoy our adventure, please feel free to share us with them too. We would welcome an even larger community.
Ultimately, it doesn't even have to be through travels, but we're wanting to build a community of people who value inside out change and inside out about transformation. It can show up in ways through traveling or something more traditional, but any ways that spark joy and inspire fun in your life. We're wanting to build a community of people who are like-minded in that sense and want to uplift other people who are just trying to figure out their journeys as it shows up for them.
Thank you again, and please like and subscribe. We will see you in the next video.
All right, thanks for watching. Bye.